On the 21st October 2024, Wariz Said Daoud Dahabo was brutally killed by a person she knew, or so she thought. She trusted him too, her taxi driver. She had personally contacted him to come pick her up, unaware that she was inviting her ultimate lead to death. She knew him well, and not just her. Many people around and much beyond believed that Hashim Dagan Mohammed was just an ordinary taxi operator, just like any other in the city of Nairobi, Eastleigh area. What was not clear to her or to many people was that Hashim Dagan Mohammed was an ex-Ethiopian police officer with a criminal record back at home. This is the disturbing case of the three femicide case in Eastleigh, Nairobi, Kenya. On October 22nd, 2024, three lifeless bodies are discovered in different locations. They are all female. Shocking enough, they have been killed in a similar manner. Meanwhile, a family in Nairobi has just reported three of its family members as missing. 38 years old Wariz Said Daoudi Dahabo, 22 years old Amina Abdi Rashid, and 12 years old Naswiba Abdul Dahil. They all had gone missing on Monday, 21st October 2024. According to the family details, Wariz Dahabo was quite unwell that day, and in the late evening her situation escalated, and she saw the need to go to hospital. She called a taxi driver, Hashim Dagan Mohammed, asking him to pick her up from home and drop her to a nearby health center. On that same Monday evening at around 7:30 p.m., Dahabo was captured on a CCTV footage, leaving her resident within Section 3 in Eastleigh. She was captured in the company of her daughter. She later, that is Dahabo, walked to a motor vehicle that had waited across, got into the vehicle that had a license plate, KDQ 718Y, and it was a Nissan Note. Dahabo took the front seat at the co-driver position. Immediately after she settled in, the vehicle drove off towards the busy Jogoo Road. At around 12:50 a.m. back at home, the girls, that is Amina Abdul Rashid and Naswiba Abdul Dahil, received a call from Hashim Dagan Mohammed. He is using Wariz Dahabo's phone. He informs them that Wariz's condition had gotten worse.
Wakapigiwa simu wakaambiwa mama yenu inaitwaje afil poa, so wakakuja wakamwendea kwa nyumba, venye amemwendea kwa wakamwendea wakampata kwa gari.
The detectives alleged that he had told the girls to come pick the mother, who was obviously not in a good condition. He cautioned them to await him, saying that he would come pick them instead. At 12:53 a.m., the two girls are caught on camera leaving their house, took the elevator and are speaking along, saying that their mom is with Hashim Dagan Mohammed. The only conclusion that could be drawn from the conversation inside the elevator, it's obvious to everyone that Hashim Dagan Mohammed was not a stranger to them. They knew him much better. Upon getting out of the apartment, the same vehicle that picked Dahabo was awaiting them, the very same spot from where it picked the mother. At first, they had not spotted the vehicle and had to make a call to inquire on where Hashim Dagan Mohammed awaited them. Finally, they noted him, and right after that, They walked right straight ahead, though hesitant to get in. After a short moment of what seemed to be a conversation between them and the driver, they got in and the vehicle drove away. To surprise you, that is the last time they were ever spotted alive. An anonymous lady who is also of Somali descent is among the suspects, claimed to have also been abducted, adding that she was in the same room the three family members were locked in moments after the abduction. She added that the abductor had demanded a ransom for their freedom. Her family had managed to raise 1 million Kenyan shillings, which was deposited to an Ethiopian bank account. After that, she claimed to have been released. The three family members were unfortunately left behind. At around 4:30 a.m. on the 22nd of October 2024, the same vehicle used by Hashim Dagan Mohammed was captured on CCTV camera in Parkland area. It was alleged that the vehicle must have been dropping a body there, since it is the very same area where sadly Amina's mutilated body would be discovered. Data cell phone of the deceased indicated that the killer had made a stop in Bahati area before proceeding to Parkland. During that stop at Bahati, that is when he dumped the 12-year-old Nasuiba Abdul Dahil Mohammed's body. His move of disposing the bodies in different locations was a cunning move to confuse the detectives and also minimize his chances of being suspected. After dumping the two youngest women, he went straight right ahead to South Sea, where he dumped Dahabo's hands, which had been chopped from her body. After that, he drove straight to Machakos County, where he dumped the rest of her body. Their bodies had been badly mutilated, and after an autopsy by the government pathologist Johannesson Oduo, a full report was delivered. It was quite disturbing.
Musaiba Abdi Mohammed, she died because of smothering. We thought that there was some also evidence which looked like rape. The second body was of Amina Abdi Rashid Dahir, and she had multiple stab wounds. Then the third one was Dahabo. She had her hands chopped off, her neck almost severed. Her hands which had been found also in a separate scene, but upon trying to reconstruct and looking at the body of the late Dahabo, looked like the hands were hurt.
That was quite disturbing indeed, and the greatest question was, who would really do that? An investigation proceeded, and after some effort, the vehicle was recovered within Wakulima Market in Kamukunji, Nairobi. Security cameras would show the vehicle being dumped at the spot and the driver walking away. Witnesses at the Wakulima Market confirmed that the driver to the vehicle had injuries on the head and the hands. The driver was also caught on the CCTV footage. He would later be identified by the detectives as Hashim Dagan Mohammed. Surprisingly, Eastleigh residents would describe him differently. Just an ordinary taxi operator who offered services around just to make a living out of it. However, that was according to their knowledge of Hashim Dagan Mohammed. But however, according to the detectives, Hashim was of Ethiopian descent. In fact, he was Ethiopian from the Ethiopian-Somali region and had illegally acquired a Kenyan identification card. Before coming to Kenya, Hashim Dagan Mohammed served as a police officer in Ethiopia before he was arrested and imprisoned on murder charges. Whose murder charges? Let me surprise you. His own wife. Upon that, he fled to Kenya and started a taxi business, where he operated around Eastleigh and Parkland. And besides working as a private taxi driver, he also worked part-time as a school bus driver at a primary school in Eastleigh. This meant that the three victims knew him quite well. He was no stranger. But now, the question is, why kill them so brutally? Law authorities have so far come up with two most substantial theories, though they are still working hard to determine which one was actually the case. Theory number 1. Hashim Dagat Mohammed was just a kidnapper who was after a ransom. This theory was assumed after Bashir Sharif Mohammed, the husband to Dahabo, recorded a statement stating that on that night he received a strange call demanding a ransom of 1 million Kenyan shillings so that his wife would be released. Bashir did not comply. However, a question remains. Why did Hashim Dagat Mohammed not hide his identity, and why would he choose to abduct people who knew him quite so well? And why had he dumped a vehicle worth 1 million Kenyan shillings and at the same time only demand a ransom of 1 million Kenyan shillings? He had even abandoned his apartment, which held expensive belongings. Such a theory leaves quite lingering doubt. The second theory is that there could be a third party involved. Bashir Sharif is a well-known businessman who resides in the United Kingdom. In the UK, he has a second wife. There are allegations that Dahabo and the second wife had been in quite some conflict. And obviously the wife in the UK, who seemed quite dominating and powerful, could not lose just that easily. Bashir's second wife had visited Kenya shortly before the three victims were killed. There are suspicions by the detectives that while the second wife was in Kenya, she had studied Dahabo's daily routine, and so she applied a close individual to Dahabo to aid in ending her life. But now, if Dahabo was her only target, why have the two other young women killed? Now, here is the argument. During the time when Dahabo was being picked by Hashim Dagat Mohammed, Dahabo was accompanied by her daughter Amina. That means the daughter had identified Hashim Dagat Mohammed already. That meant if the worst happened, she would testify against Hashim. So Hashim, being a man with combat knowledge, he had to clear his trail. He could not leave such loopholes. That is when he used Dahabo's phone to call Amina. And according to Hashim, Dahabo was by then in a critical health condition. Sadly, Amina did not go alone. She took with her younger cousin Nasuiba Abdul Dahil. The cousin had insisted on seeing her auntie, fearing she was so sick. Amina was the only target. Sadly, Nasuiba became collateral damage. The second wife went through a lot of interrogation with the police. However, they did not come up with any substantial evidence that would prove that she indeed was responsible for the death of the three women. Dear viewer, the case is still under investigation and no conclusive evidence has been reached. However, both theories have some loopholes and neither of them has been confirmed by the detectives. And also, the killer is still at large. He has not yet been captured. May God grant peace to the grieving family. Please don't forget to subscribe, and as the Murder Chronicle team, we will keep you posted about this case. And meanwhile, I'll see you in the next one.